Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Math 20-1, Chapter 3.1, Factoring Polynomials. Now, you did a lot of this factoring back in Math 10C, but for some of you, that's been a while. So, let's recall foiling. Foiling, multiplying out first outside, x squared plus 1x plus 4x plus 4, which simplifies to x squared plus 5x plus 4. So that's foiling. Now today, factoring is working backwards. Now I want you to notice here, x squared plus 8x plus 12. Now if we look at the original equation we just foiled out, two numbers multiply together to be the last number and add together to be the middle term. Now, a way to solve this that I like is you have your term here, x squared, 8x, 12. Now, that's the equation we're trying to solve here. So working backwards, using this box, what times what gives us x squared? Well, it has to be x times x. Now, what are two numbers that add together to give us 8 and multiply together to be 12? Well, the only things I can think of is plus 6 plus 2. That gives us 2x, x, 6 is 6x, 6 and 2x and 2x is 8x, 6 times 2 is 12. So x plus 6 times x plus 2 is x squared plus 8x plus 12. Now I did that rather quickly, but you should remember from Math 10C. Now a few things here. Does it matter if you write it x plus 6 times x plus 2, or can you write it as x plus 2 times x plus 6? Either way doesn't matter, you're multiplying out. And notice here, your final equation goes in the middle. And what you're multiplying it by goes on the sides. So those of you that have taken Math 10C with me recently have seen this process. You've seen the process foiling, but you haven't seen the process factoring. But you know, yes, you have Math 10C. Now, here we go again. X plus something times x plus something gives us x squared minus 8x plus 12. Well, our term x squared minus 8x plus 12. Now, what times what gives us x squared? X times x. Now, two numbers that add together to be minus 8, and multiply together to be, add to be minus 8, multiply by minus 12. X minus 6, it's minus 2, I think. X times minus 2 is minus 2x. X times minus 6 minus 6x. Minus 8x. Yes, that works. So that's x minus 6, x minus 2. See how this goes? And yes, on this example, I gave you extra blocks because this is guessing and checking, and you will make boo-boos. Now, here's another one. X squared minus 5x minus 14. 5x minus 14. Now, I'm going to be quiet for a minute, and you guys set this up, figure it out, come back, and we'll compare answers, okay? So did you stop the recording? No, you didn't. Stop the recording and do the work. All right, welcome back. Now, this has to be x times x. Minus 7 plus 2. 2x minus 7x. X minus 7, x plus 2. So that's the only ones that work for that. The next one here. X squared minus 8x plus 7. All right. Pause the recording, come back, and we'll compare answers. Okay. X. Now, they add together to be minus 8, but they multiply together to be plus 7, so they both have to be negative. Minus 7, minus 1, minus x. Yes, that's the only thing that works. This is x minus 7 times x minus 1. Just to confuse you, how about an a squared? So I'm going to pause the recording. You guys come back, check your answers. Okay, a times a is a squared. Minus 18 is 6 and 3, sorry, 6 and 3, 9 and 2. Plus 9, minus 2, 2a, 9a, yes. Okay. Now, is x plus 4 a factor of x squared minus 6x minus 40? I don't know. For this, I'm going to do the box because I rather like it. X squared minus 6x minus 40. So they're saying, is x plus 4 a factor? Well, if it is, x and 4 works. So, what else works? So this has to be x squared. So this becomes 4x. X times 4 gives us 4x. Now, 4x plus what gives us minus 6x? Well, it has to be minus 10x here, which makes this minus 10. Minus 10 times 4 is minus 40. So yes, this does work. Okay? So, I'll let you look at that for another moment. Then, going on. Now, doing this, hints, tricks, and traps. First thing's common factor. 3x squared plus 3x minus 18. I want you to realize you can divide everything by 3. Or factor out of 3. So that's x squared plus x minus 6. X squared, x minus 6. That is x times x. That would have to be plus 3, I think, and minus 2. That's 2x plus 3x. Yes, just plus 1x. Now, you'll see I'm going through these kind of quickly. I've been doing them since before you were born, so yeah, I'm a little quick at this. Once again, pause. When I say pause the recording and work on the questions, pause the recording and work on the questions. Please. Most of the time, the math isn't bad. And those of you that have survived Math 20, or sorry, Math 10C, know that yeah, you can do this. You just have to think a little bit. Now, 6x squared plus 18x minus 24. You factor to 6, and that's down to x squared plus 3x minus 4. Okay, so that's x. That's x. Two numbers add together to be 3 and multiply together to be minus 4. One has to be negative, one has to be positive. I think plus 4 and minus 1 works. Minus x plus 4x plus 4 times minus, yes. 4 times x minus 1. There we go. Now, uncommon factors is the next trick. Notice you've got a 1/2 in front, which screws up everything. Multiply everything by 2. That becomes x squared, sorry, plus 4x minus 12. Now, since you multiplied everything by 2, you got to divide everything by 2, or factor out 1/2. So you see what I did? I multiplied everything by 2 to get rid of the fraction. Then but I also divided everything by 2, so I haven't changed the equation. Some people would say that's factoring out 1/2. Whatever. As long as you see what I did. X squared, 4x minus 12. So factoring that, what do? X times x is x squared. Two numbers that add together to be 4 and multiply together to be minus 12. Multiply to be minus 12, one's negative, one's positive. Since they add together to be a positive number, the large number is positive. The only thing I can think of is plus 6 minus 2. Minus 2x plus 6x. Yes. That's 1/2 x plus 6 times x minus 2. 0.1 x squared minus 1 plus 2.5. multiply everything by 10. So that is, sorry, times 10, divide by 10, or 1/10 x squared minus 10x plus 25, x squared minus 10x plus 25. Okay, x times x is x squared. Two numbers that multiply together to be plus 25 but add to be negative 10. If they multiply together to be 25 and add to be a negative, they both got to be negative. The only thing I can think of, well, the easy one is minus 5. 1/10 x minus 5 squared. Now, the third thing you should remember is a difference of squares. You're going, I don't remember. Oh, wait a minute. I wrote this as 3 squared. This is x minus 3 times x plus 3. Now, if you don't remember that, treat this as x squared minus 0x minus 9 and do the block thing. Sorry. It works quite well, but this difference of squares things is a lovely shortcut because 6 squared minus y squared, one's plus and one's minus. Does it matter which one you write first? No. So it's 6 plus y times 6 minus y, and once again, doesn't matter which one's the plus and which one's the minus, or which one you write first, I should say. All right. So, trick question, 49x squared minus 1. You're going, I don't see, well, 1 is a perfect square. That's 7x. If I wrote it like that, what have you got? 7x minus 1 times 7x plus 1. And now my other favorite trick question for difference of squares. Is 3 minus 5x a factor of 18 minus 50x squared? And you're going, wait a minute, x squared is, 18 is not a perfect square, neither is 50. True. But what do we talk about here? Hints, tricks, and traps, common factors. So, is there a number we can factor out of 18 and 50? Well, I think so, because that's 2 times 9 minus 25x squared. And now you've got a difference of squares. What are the squares? 3 squared minus 5x squared. 3 minus 5x times 3 plus 5x. 3 minus 5x. Yes, it's a factor. Okay. Okay. Good. Now, very quickly, I'm going to throw one of these at you, odd expressions. X plus 2 squared times 8 times x plus 2, close bracket, plus 12. Now, first thought is to FOIL everything out, multiply it out, and then factor it. Pain in the bum. Cheating shortcut. Call this y. So it becomes y squared plus 8y plus 12. Why? Let me show you. Why not? Because that is much easier to factor. When there are two numbers that multiply together to be 12 and add together to be 8, two and 6. So this is y plus 6 times y plus 2. So far, so good. Now, the thing is, y is x plus 2. So every time we see a y, we have to replace it with x plus 2. So it goes from y plus 6 to x plus 2 plus 6. It's not what we want. We want x plus 8 and x plus 4. Now, a couple of steps there, but I think it's a lot easier to factor something nasty doing it this cheating shortcut than to FOIL all that out, add it together, combine like terms, and then factor the remainder. Or sorry, factor the product, not the remainder. All right? So as I said, cheating shortcut. If you want to do it, great. If not, do it the long way. I don't care. Y squared minus y minus 6. Okay, now two numbers that multiply together to be minus 6, but add to be minus 1, minus 3 plus 2. So it's 2y minus 3, yes. So this is y minus 3 times y minus 2, sorry, plus 2. So far, so good. Then every time we see y, we replace with x minus 1. So it's x minus 1 minus 3, or x minus 4. And this is x minus 1 plus 2, or x plus 1. So that's how we factor that mess quickly. Is it a cheating shortcut? Yes. Is it useful? Well, for the 1 or 2 questions you're going to get, yes. Is it a big deal? No. You can always multiply this out. FOIL it, combine like terms, then factor the mess. Surprise me. Now, so far so good? Good. As I said, yes, we're going through this quickly, but you did Math 10C with me. You should remember this. The evil question is when you got a term in front of the x squared. You can't factor it out. Then you're going, crap, 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 crap. I mean, poopy. Now, here, you've got two terms. Well, you've got three terms here, but the first, you've got a 2 in front of the x squared. Now, what are the factors of 2? Yes, the nice ones are 1x and 2x. Somebody's going to say, but Mr. Sutton, couldn't we do a half x and 4x? And yes, shut up. Nice factors, not fractions. So far, so good. Now, here, the other term we got to look at is minus 3. What are the factors of minus 3? 1 minus 3, or minus 1 and 3. So right off the bat, we've got two choices for the second term. 1 and minus 3, or minus 1 and 3. And the trouble is, we have to decide, we have to check where they can go. What I'm trying to say is here, if we look at the first one, we can put the 1 here and the minus 3. If that doesn't work, then we go 1 minus 3. And if that doesn't work, then we do the minus 1 and 3 here. If that doesn't work, it's minus 1 here and 3 here. So we have 4 choices. Now that's kind of confusing, so actually let me undo that. Easier. First one I said was, let's try 1 and minus 3. Now I arbitrarily put them there because I can. Now 2x times 1 is 2x. 1 times minus 3 is minus 3x. That doesn't work. Okay? You'll see we'll end up with minus x. So, and this is why I put down multiple boxes. So let's try the 1 here, the minus 3 here. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6x. 1x. No, that doesn't work either. So it's not the 1 and minus 3. It has to be the minus 1 and 3. So minus 1, 3. 1 times 3 is 3x, minus 2x. This works. So it took us 3 tries. There we go. So this is x minus 1 times 2x plus 3. Okay? See how that goes? Lots of guessing and checking. So Here's one. I'll set it up for you. Actually, no. I'll work through this one with you. 3x squared plus 17x plus 10. Now, factors of 3, 3x and 1x. Now, the factors of 10 are 1 and 10, and 2 and 5. Now, notice here everything is positive, so I'm probably not minus 1 and minus, no, it couldn't be, because added together they'd be a negative number. So, I'm going to go 5 and 2. 17 is not that big a number. If we had 10 in here, then we, no. Anyway, so try the smaller number. So this is 5x, 6x. No, doesn't work. So 3x squared, 17x, 10, 3x, 1x. Let's do the 5 down here, the 2 here, 2x, 15. Here we go. So it is 5 and 2. 3x plus 2, 1x plus 5. So this is 3x plus 2 times x plus 5. Yes, that works. Now, here's one. 3x squared minus 20x minus 7. What are the factors of 3 and what are the factors of minus 7? So, I want you to pause the tape, solve it, come back and check your work with me. Okay, so please stop the recording and solve this one. All right, welcome back. So, factors of 3x squared are 3x and 1x. Now the factors of minus 7 are 1 and minus 7, or minus 1 and 7. I'm going to try minus 7 and plus 1. So I'm sitting here doing this in my head, looking at the options. I'm going 1x minus 21x. Ooh, got it! 3x plus 1, x minus 7. Now, I sat and thought about it a little bit and did the math in my head. You'll notice the previous example I had to do a couple examples. Hey, you might have to do several. Now, one more for you guys to try, 25x squared plus 20x plus 4. Okay? So, pause the recording, start it, come back, both compare answers. All right, welcome back. So, 25x squared, 20x, and 4. Now, 25, here we've got options. 1 and 25, or 5 and 5. I'm going to hazard a guess 5 and 5. I should say 1, 25, or 5 and 5. It could be either one. But if you do a bunch of these, you're going, okay, the middle term is 20. If it was one of these was 25, then 25 times something tends to get a lot bigger, a lot quick. Factors of 4 are 1 and 4, or 2 and 2. Now, I'm going to guess 2 and 2 because I'm lazy. And 10x, and oh, it does work. So this is 5x plus 2 squared. Woohoo! Lucky in the first term. Now, if that didn't work, if you'd done 1 and 4, it wouldn't have worked. And you would have tried 2 and 2 eventually. All right? So, guessing, well, these is just guessing and checking. I've done enough of these. I can guess them, I can do some checking in my head, as I'm old and I don't have a life. Now, that's it for me. So if you're having problems with this, watch the video again. And when I say pause, pause and do the work. All right? If you got questions, see me in class. Good luck.